our senses, right? We can see, taste, touch, smell, hear.
Don't run, no retreat. Stay in your lane, get out the way, yo. Beep, beep. Cause when I'm on go, there ain't no stopping. Holla, ski, ski. Yeah, I'm three crazy nigga. You can ask my cousin Bree how we get that dough in. Sip lean until we fall asleep. Fuck it, then we wake up in the morning with the pee-pee. Wanna turn, get the word so I can eat. Hey, run it up.
You can try it if you want to.
Hey, run it up.
Bet it's something that you won't do.
Hey, run it up.
We stay ready all the time, fool.
Run it up.
Motherfucker, this ain't high school. Touch me with them dick beaters, motherfucker, if you want to. I knock your ass out with this motherfucking 1-2. K-Land's finest Southside pioneer. Get down and dirty with the rest of them. Let's make it clear. Can't hold me down, I'm like a lion out the cage. Ready, putting motherfuckers on the front page. When it comes to me and mine, you gon' lose every time. Young punks don't fight, so I'm holding baby 9.
Hey, run it up.
You can try it if you want to.
Hey, run it up.
Bet it's something that you won't do.
Hey, run it up.
We stay ready all the time, fool.
Run it up.
Motherfucker, this ain't high school.
Dangerous thoughts.
Oh my God. Welcome everybody. It is that time again. It's 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the United States Corporation of the United States of America. I'm Manuente Reme. Over here is my co-host, Mr. Tyson Strasberg. And this is a podcast / live YouTube show. It's called Dangerous Thoughts. We talk about the deep shit over here. We talk about fringe science. We talk about government. We talk about pretty much anything that is interesting and things that make people uncomfortable. We love to talk out loud about race. Hey, we've never done a show on race. Why don't we do that?
We're a little too white.
Maybe a little too white to do a show on race. I think we should do it.
Show.
Isn't this dangerous thought, Tyson?
White people all right, but
race?
No. We can, but we need to be humble and kind. And kind.
No doubt. I'm not a racist.
I mean, that could
race.
That could take a hard left real quick. So we just have to be really
good. Yeah. Well, that's what's dangerous about it, though. I think it'd be fun. A lot of people.
Most racism take a hard left or a hard right. Isn't that where it usually lands?
Yeah.
Well, which is why we don't want to take a hard left or a hard right, or cancel culture's coming for us.
Yeah.
Now,
which is their own type of race, cancel culture people. They really are their own type.
Right.
That's the hard left race.
Well, there's justified and unjustified. I mean, after like 30 years of mistreating women, Bill Cosby or Weinstein, or there might be a couple out there where maybe Hitler ought to be canceled. I get that. But I mean, but they're normal people do normal things, and we've all said things we wish we hadn't, or things we wish we could take back. But now, in the day of cameras and recording devices and iPhones, the internet will never let you forget it. Like 20 years ago, I'm not a perfect. I've said things I wish I hadn't 20 years ago, but there weren't cell phones and cameras and everything 20 years. Today, kids are putting things on the internet. They don't even know what they're saying. They're in 5th grade, 4th grade, and they're saying stuff, and it's going to come back and haunt them when they're 40.
Yeah. What trips me out about the internet in general and internet culture, cancel culture, is these people that want to hold people responsible for language and things like that they used in the 70s. I was watching something the other day about someone was bitching about putting on the Eddie Murphy stand-up comedy from the 70s when he's in the red suit. What was that movie called? It was just a stand-up special, and he's in this red leather suit. But he drops the F-bomb a million times, and it's really a racist piece, his stand-up. Full bar. It's racist. I mean, it's homophobic, sorry. Same ballpark.
But, and Chappelle, although I think Chappelle is funny, but sometimes
Chappelle was olive branching to the trans population. He was making fun. He was making light of. I don't think he was digging at.
Right, and I respect everybody's opinion who thinks one way or the other on that. But I'm just saying personally, there are stand-up comedians that have done.
But this was the
I'm not going
70s.
to say racist. I'm going to say racy things.
Yeah.
Things, things that kind of maybe brush up against the edge, and including LGBT, including race, including other things. That I thought it was funny, but I took it not as a literal jab towards my people or any race, but just because it was fun. I mean, how many black comedians do cracker jokes? And it's I think that's funny too.
Yeah, me too. I think making light of race is fun as long as it's not straight up hateful. And it's so easy for me to determine the difference between straight up hateful and making light of race. It seems to be very difficult for other people. But what I mean is, like, there are people today that are like trying to hold Eddie Murphy responsible for shit he said in the 70s and call him a homophobe when he would never do that now. It was a different time. It was 50 plus years ago. You got to think about that.
People change, ideas change, thoughts change. I mean, 20 years ago, Barack Obama and Joe Biden were completely against gay marriage. Today, they're one of the biggest champions because ideas and thoughts and people
There we
change.
go. Eddie Murphy, I think it was Raw that the guy was commenting on and calling Eddie Murphy a racist. It was just something I saw on social media. But I was like, things
change.
You can't take the, post Me Too woke generations ways of looking at society and then place them on 1970s America. It's just not fair. And I think people should, take that into account. For example, I was watching something earlier. There's a great documentary on Netflix about Vince McMahon, the guy that runs the WWE. And he really is a son of a bitch in general, the guy. But the reason I respect him is he's sort of a right out in the open son of a bitch. Like, yeah, that's who I am. I'm a dick. I'm a prick. And that's the way things are. And that's the way things were. But apparently, like, I haven't seen the whole thing, so don't judge me too harshly because I've only seen the first episode. But apparently it gets into some real heavy places as far as like sexual assault and the culture within the WWF back in the day. But at the same time, I'm like this. What I respect about him is he took his personal life and what I respect about all artists that do this, I love it, when they take their personal shit and they air it through their art. And that's basically what the WWE does. He plays this character, this dickhead boss that doesn't care about his wrestlers, doesn't care about their income, this machismo asshole. And then he just like makes art out of what he actually kind of is. He's anybody that shows themselves through their art like that, I have to have some respect for.
I've got three actors that I want you to think about really quick. Andrew Dice Clay, who really plays this really misogynistic, and in the Me Too movement, but in real life, Andrew Dice Clay is one of the sweetest, nicest, non-misogynistic people in the world. But you wouldn't know that. But he's playing a character. Number two, think of the Colbert Report, back when Stephen Colbert was doing that right after the Daily Show. He played this hardcore Republican, like he was overdoing it, and the purpose was he was making fun through irony and through sarcasm and then finally Carol O'Connor, when he played Archie Bunker on All in the Family, played this horrible racist and everything. Carol O'Connor was not a racist. He played it for not just for laughs, but to show people how stupid it was to think that way, right? He made the character a laughable caricature. And if you thought like that, then you were ridiculous too. That was his point. And I love these kind of characters that yes, they wouldn't be acceptable today, but I think what they were trying to do was to show how ridiculous this kind of thinking is, so that we laugh at them, right?
Yeah, laugh at the miserable, hateful son of a bitches. I loved Carol O'Connor. I loved that show. That was such a great show.
I did too.
And I hate sitcoms, and I loved that show. So, I'm going to kill this fly sometime during the program. I swear to God. Don't
And by the way,
call
All in the
one
Family gave
fly.
us the Jeffersons. George Jefferson was
Yeah,
Archie Bunker's
Jefferson's
neighbor, and then
also
that spun off
fantastic
into their
show.
own show. Yeah.
So look at this. We're doing a show on race. Two white guys. I've got freckles. I've got a lot of freckles all over my body. So if you like,
I do
put them
too.
all together, I might be like 1/6 black.
Well, it was wonderful while this show lasted. We got 2 good years. That was great. Love it. Love it.
I can dance. I used to be able to ball pretty well.
But can you jump? White
No.
guys and all.
White guys
Okay.
cannot jump.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was a picture of Barack Obama and Donald Trump. And then it had the little color picker from like Photoshop on each of their skin. And it showed that Donald Trump was in fact darker than Barack Obama. And then underneath the image, it had the comment. The first comment was, well, I guess orange really is the new black.
The spray tan.
I mean, you've got to feel bad for his cleaning ladies every time he wakes up. The sheets got to look like the Shroud of Turin. This image of Trump every time.
Of Trump in the sheets.
Oh my God.
I was actually watching the news the other day, and Trump had one of his new Make America Great Again stolen from Reagan red hats on. And I mean, it was the most douchebaggy, ill-fitting, dumb frickin' looking hat I've ever seen in my life. And he's talking his absolute bullshit. And I was just watching him, and I'm like, how is it that the internet and all of us getting our news from social media and us repeating everything we see without fact checking anything led us to this man being the head of the Republican Party? I mean, he's just a caricature of idiocy. He's like Ronald McDonald mixed with fucking.
How does he get that Chewbacca-sized toupee into that red hat anyway? I mean, he's got he's stuffing it into a cod piece or so. I don't know.
And how is it that 50% of the people living in this country look at him and go, yeah, that's
break me off a piece of that. That's who I think
he should be in charge.
Yeah. If people thought Americans were stupid before, just elect Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit of grace given back in 2016. They were like, well, nobody knows how, maybe he'll become presidential. You remember that President Zelensky was a comedian. He was an actor in Ukraine. He wasn't a real, and then he really became president. Well, was he still going to be a joke, or would he become serious? He became a great leader for Ukraine. And maybe people in 2016 thought, yes, he was an actor. He was kind of a dumb fuck, but maybe he would become president. Maybe the office would change him, and he would become. No, if anything, it emboldened him, made him worse, made him power hungry, made him. I don't know.
And now he's just more.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Double the destruction.
Do you know what a 2.0 would be
Vote
like?
For Trump, double the destruction, double the pain.
Oh my God.
MAGA should really not look up the slang alpha male, says Dennis Scotch. Yeah. Oh boy, there's some morons out there. And hey, look, I'm the guy. Did I read our little even though it's us talking? Let me read it anyway. So tonight, everybody, we were supposed to have Micah Dank on, astrologist, NDE, stud muffin. He's going to be with us probably next week or the week after. We'll reschedule. But he wrote us right before the show to tell us that he's in the path of the hurricane hitting Tampa right now. So no internet, and well, he could be dead by next week. So maybe we'll get him from the afterlife on the program.
Okay, that was.
I know. He's not.
You're really trying to get us canceled tonight. I love it.
Yeah.
A little wind and a little rain, and you can't. Hurricane Helene.
Every time I go, he'll be all right. Every time I go on the program, I try to get us canceled. That's sort of my deep.
We're just saying that you're going to turn this episode into a source for Wikipedia.
Yeah, probably. They hate me on Wikipedia. By the way, if there's any people out there that know that Monumente Reme just makes really bad jokes and is a decent human being, why don't you go on Wikipedia and tell them? Because I'm a scumbag on that place.
Well, no,
Anyway.
you're not even on Wikipedia anymore. They took you off. Did you know
Oh,
that?
did they just take me off? Well,
Yeah,
that's
they took you
better
off.
than that's
You
better
don't
than
exist.
anything I could imagine. I
Yeah,
like
oh
not
my God.
existing on the internet.
You know, I don't normally keep guns in my room, but I have 2 today. Okay,
Cool.
take a look at this. Yeah, take a look at this. You ready?
Yeah.
Laser?
Boom. Gun number
Boom.
1.
Gun number 1.
Gun
Boom.
number 2.
Gun number 2. First thing I saw was the phaser on your wall in the behind
No,
you.
the real gun. I feel like the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's just slapping the flab under his arm. That's I have no. These aren't even pea shooters.
Yeah, I got to tell you, as a quasi celebrity, I've been campaigning to try to get back on the new Star Trek shows that are coming out, and so I've been reading a lot of a few people have gone out. I mean, I'm not campaigning. Well, yeah, I am. I've written some people backstage, and I'd love to be back on one of their shows. But I mean, I haven't been like fiercely, everybody help, help, help. I've just, released a couple tweets.
We should be ticketing in front of Paramount Studios.
Yeah, right. But I have been able to read some of the comments, and most of them are positive, and people are beautiful, and Star Trek fans are beautiful. But some of the negative stuff is just so like they just go right for your heart, man. Behind a computer, the internet, they just go deep.
I heard you were a dick in real life.
Yeah,
you're just an absolute asshole.
Just
some guy on the internet
son
told
of a
me.
bitch. And it grows. The more that I talk about it and I try to defend myself or apologize, etc., the worse it gets. So it's just you just gotta like quit at some point, because if you just give them more ammunition, recently, so a new one is that I was difficult to work with on the set. Like I've never read that before, but I was looking on some of the comments for should we bring Icha back on a
difficult to work with on the set.
Oh, that I was just a nightmare. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is so 120% reversed from that. I was young. I was 21. I was working with actors that I super admired. Bob Picardo, Jerry Ryan. I was nervous. I was excited. I was there to
tell me what to do and I'll do it. I will kiss your boot. The opposite of the whole Shirley Temple, oh, go get me my margarita. where's my makeup? Get away from me. No.
Whatever you need. Do you want me to stand on the other side of camera for the next 3 hours? I'll be here,
you want me to fluff you while I do the scene? I'll tell me what to do.
Somebody even said Manu Ente Reme was handsy in exclamation points with Jerry Ryan. I'm like, all right, do me a favor, sir. Go talk to her and see if that has any merit to it whatsoever. Give me a break.
I mean, when you and I work together on Star Crew, you only touch my nuts like four or 5 times
at
tops,
the most,
tops,
right?
Tops.
At the most.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, I was tugging on him pretty constantly, but I only touched them softly for
one still hangs a little lower. I don't know. Yeah, well, magic touch. I really.
That's Icheb. He's got no depth perception, so he can't quite figure out what's going on there.
I'm going to hell.
Yeah. So the point is, Micah Dank canceled on us tonight, and we hope that he's safe and well for the truth of what's going on in my heart.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll join us next week. But so tonight we're winging it, and we're talking about all sorts of stuff. We started out with race. I actually have a video, and I'm hoping that these folks won't get mad at us for showing it. Earlier this week, when I was, 8 minutes before the show, when I realized we didn't have a guest tonight, I thought about this YouTube video that I saw about this guy that had a near-death experience on a show called Shaman something. Cassie, do you remember the name of the show?
No, I do not.
Hold on, I'm going to look it up real quick. But it's a YouTube video that really got me thinking about our reality, where we sit, what we are as human beings in these avatars or whatever they are, the spiritual nature of the world, et cetera, et cetera. And it's actually a video from a gentleman named, and let me pull this up so we don't get sued for showing it, because the only reason I'm sharing it is because it affected me so much that I want more people to see it. Because I found it.
So we're promoting.
Yeah, we're
not
promoting.
taking credit for.
We're not taking
promoting.
credit for. Yeah, his name is Bill Letson. He's the guy that had the NDE, and he's telling his story to a YouTube host called Shaman Oaks. Go subscribe to his program and Dangerous Thoughts while you're at it. But Shaman Oaks is his name, and he was interviewing Bill Letson. And I want to show you guys this video. It's quite long, and we might take a pause sometime or talk a little bit over it. But it's a wonderful story, and maybe the rest of the show can be about this topic. Let's roll the video. Enjoy this.
When I tell the story, I just start smiling because it all comes back.
So I heard you had a near-death experience. Let's hear about it.
Okay, it was 1994. I was working as a firefighter in Santa Barbara. I was at Station 11 on a paramedic engine. I was an engineer. I drove. And there was a powerful flu epidemic going on in the area. And lots of people were sick. Emergency rooms were full of people. And we went to a patient. She'd been cooped up in her room, and she was really ill. And it was obvious we had to move fast because everything about her was wrong. And I grabbed the O2 and booted across the bed and got above her and got a mask on her. And as I was fixing it, tightening it up, she let out this big exhale because she was so happy that we had arrived. And I was taking a breath in, and I felt my lungs fill with her breath. And I said, well, if that's not an inoculation, I don't know what is. And a couple of days later, I was really sick. At this point, I was really ill, and I was at home. I was circling the drain. It was hard to get out of bed. I was throwing up, and it was going the other way. It was afternoon of the third day. I think I was looking in the mirror, and I said, man, I don't even look like myself. Everything was dark. My heart was racing. It was like 150. And I tried to take my pulse at my wrist because that's a good indicator of what your blood pressure is. And I couldn't get a pulse at my wrist. So I knew it was below 80. So I called my niece, I called my sister, and my niece picked up, and I tried to talk to her, and it was just a whisper. And she knew there was trouble. She hung up, dialed 911, and Santa Barbara County Fire came and picked me up. Guys did a wonderful job. They started high flow IVs. It was obvious that I was severely dehydrated, and got me in an ambulance and got me to the hospital. And when we went in, the place was full. It was full of people, full of kids and adults, and everybody had this same really powerful flu. And I got put in a room, and they kept changing out the IVs. I had a couple of bags by then. I think another one was hung. By the next day, when I left, they said they'd given me 11 liters of fluids. They're trying to float the system because something happened, and I don't blame anybody, or I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody about it, because it led to this event, which was something that was meant to be. And anyway, the nurse came in and she said everyone's getting these two drugs, something for pain, which was a morphine type thing, and something for nausea.
They're
she
giving all
pushed him
these
into
flu
the IV port.
Flu patients morphine.
I kind of was sitting up. I was getting dressed. My wife was there, and I was like, I think I can go home. And she goes, nope, the doctor hasn't even seen you yet, and these are orders for everybody. Anyway, she pushed it, and I keeled over. And my wife said that it really scared them. They came in and they Narcaned you, and Narcan is something that gobbles up the opiates, and they Narcaned you. She had it written down 3 times. And you weren't coming back. So they put me in intensive care for the night and had all this equipment and tubes and stuff on me. And I don't know any of this. My wife hung in there. And at some point during that night, I left my body. And I found myself flying through this star-filled realm. Every time I tell this story, I just start smiling because it all comes back. But yeah, I was flying through this star-filled realm, and there were all these magnificent stars, orbs, all around me, and they were so welcoming. And It was like I was being paraded through, and all I felt was everything a human ever wants to feel. Just acceptance and love and joy and being held. And all those things, all those negative things that we have about ourselves, they were gone. They were absolutely gone. Things like, anger and resentment or spite or jealousy. In my opinion, those emotions do not travel with us. They stay here. They're tools for us to learn from. So anyway, I was flying through this star-filled realm, feeling absolutely ecstatic, like a cosmic orgasm. And it wasn't just an explosion. That was a full-time vibe. That is what we come from. We get glimpses of it here when we score the winning touchdown, or we get that job we wanted, or get the girl, and all these victories, if you roll them all into one, times it by 1,000,000, that is your vibration. So yeah, we come down here to push against this really dense, harsh vibrations. And it's really a wonderful gift. It really is. I'm cruising along, and there was cosmic orgasm, just continuous. And I felt like I'd been released from a hot, dark closet. And I was this huge expanded cloud, a huge expanded balloon. It seemed like I went out forever. And the thing that I kept saying while I was flying along and I was enjoying everything, and I kept saying, how in the world did I believe I was this dude? It was such a crazy trick that I was this person, and I had all these good points and bad points, and buttons. We all have them, emotional buttons that are going to send me into whatever depression, and they were gone. All that was gone. And that remained with the person that was Bill Letson. And I had full knowledge of Bill Letson's entire life and knew all the details, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And I like him. He's a good guy, but I didn't want anything to do with it. The thought of going back was out of the question. I was well aware that my body was behind, and it was like a banana peel. What are you going to do with a banana peel? Throw it away. And that's what it felt like. So I was flying along, and then all of a sudden I landed. I landed in a place that was solid. It had indirect lighting, and there were gurneys around, and there was equipment that was hanging from the ceiling. It was like a facility or a clinic or something. And right in front of me there were beings. There were these 3 short little hooded guys, and they looked exactly like those beings in the movie Communion. The guys I saw, they were in front of me. They had big smiles on their face, and they had these dark hoods and squatty little bodies. And one woman wrote to me, and she said, I was taken by these many times as a kid. And she goes, I called them the Warthog Men. The Warthog Men have come and taken me. And she said, when I saw that movie Communion, I dropped my popcorn. And says that they looked exactly like that. And I've gotten a number of emails from people saying, thank you for doing this, because I thought it was just mine. So anyway, yeah, they look kind of, I don't know, creepy is the right word, but they look different. But for me, they were sweethearts. And they were saying things like, how was it? What did you learn? What can you tell us? And I was extremely confused. All of a sudden, I was in this place with these beings from a cartoon, basically. And one of them stepped forward, and he took a long look at me, and then he turned to the other 2, and he said, he doesn't remember us. And they all started giggling. And I was like, well, guys, I'm having a little trouble. All of a sudden, things are very strange from my perspective, and I kind of remember you, but give me a little time. And they were giggling and bouncing around, and they were wonderful. And then there was this other guy, and he was sort of in charge. He was kind of in the background. He came forward, and he was this tall, wispy guy, and he had this incredible ecstatic smile. His eyes were open, his eyebrows were up, and he had this wonderful smile and laugh. And he was obviously in charge, but he was the best boss anybody could ever have. He wasn't, very strict at all. When he came forward towards me, my throat just tightened and my chest expanded. And I thought I was going to break down in uncontrollable crying from love. There was so much love pouring from this being that it was overwhelming. It was paralyzing. And I just loved it. I loved those guys. He was cool. There was some back and forth stuff. And every time I said something, he had this chuckle. I could feel it inside of me. He had this laugh. I got the impression that, looking at it from a third person, that was a relationship between a father and a child. And he loved me unconditionally. And at one point I said, I'm not going back there. No way, no how, ever. So I guess I got to move on from this place eventually. And so, what's next? A review of my life? Would you guys like to get started with that? And he just loved that. He just cracked up like I was a little toddler trying to take over. And he said, sure, let's do that. How do you want to start? So I started talking, and I was telling stories about jobs that I wish I'd taken. My wife and I got this offer for this job on an island off the coast, and we were going to live on this island by ourselves and take care of the wildlife. And it was really super remote. It was like an hour helicopter ride off the coast. And she wanted that. That was right up her alley. And I took a fire job. I still wanted excitement. But I wish I'd done that for her, because she's never asked for anything, but she did want that. So yeah, I talked a little bit about that and a few other things, and nobody was listening. They didn't care. It was obvious that I was brought in there for a quick show and tell, and I wasn't staying. It wasn't the end of my life, and I was the only one in the room that didn't know that. And at one point he said, okay, that's enough. He stepped forward like a father and said, time to go back. And that just floored me. I was like, what? Go back? I'm not going back there. There's no way. He says, yeah, you got to go back. You got things to do, and they're important. And the three little guys, it was like they were reassigned. They just disappeared. They went somewhere else in that facility, and it was just he and I. And he came forward, and he's like, okay, you're going back. And as he stepped forward, I felt myself slipping back. The place just started to break up. It started to dematerialize. It's like I was being beamed out of there, and I was going to another channel. I was going to another frequency, and it was a descending feeling, and I dropped away into darkness. It wasn't a good place. It wasn't someplace you wanted to be. It was lonely, and it was dismal, and you didn't want to stay there. Then I was back in my body, and I woke up, and a nurse came by, and she says, you're awake? And I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to you. And she said, I just got to go tell the doctor. We've been worried about you. We didn't know what was going to happen with you. We didn't know what was going on. And I said, okay, that's cool. You can go talk to the doctor. But first, what am I doing back here? I was pissed. I said, I was home. I'd made it out of here. I was home with my best bros. How is it that I ended up back here? I had bought the farm. I was convinced of it. She said, honey, you've been in escrow, but you fell out of escrow, and now you're back with us, and you're going to have to get your head around that. And I thought that was, looking back, that was really good advice, because after that experience, anybody who has an experience like that, the yogis and the spiritual teachers, they'll tell you, get back in your life and chop wood and carry water and do the things that support your life and keep it going, because you're on a journey. You're a soldier for the higher self, this higher version of you that came for experiences that are mapped out. Get back on the job and make them proud on the other side that you gave your best and you made the highest vibration choices in this life.
And what was the dark place that you spent a little time in, and what was its point? What's the purpose of it?
It's up to us to create our vibration. When we live our life and our vibration is low because we've been selfish and self-centered and mean-spirited, and we all know these people. We've all met them. And when we leave our bodies, when we die and leave our bodies, our vibration is going to match that low vibration of those lower places, and that's where we'll be stuck. It's not forever. It's just till we sort out where we went wrong in this life, and because we are these infinite, amazing beings. If you listen to those people who, they give a video about going to hell, almost every time it's like they sort it out. One woman was in a coma for weeks, and at one point she sorted it out, and she started singing a spiritual song that she sang in church, and she popped right out of hell. and she said that most of the time she had no idea she was dead. This thing about leaving this world in an astonished state. You're going to bump around in these low vibrational places until you can sort out that astonishment. And for some, it could be a long time. Edgar Cayce, when he used to leave his body to give a reading, he would sit quietly until the vibration started right in his eyes, and he would start that REM sleep, that blinking thing that you talked about, and I feel it all the time. Then he would find himself a little speck of light outside of his body, and he knew that he had to follow the light in order to stay safe, and that the first level of the realms that he visited or he moved through, he would move over to this staircase, and it was this like Jacob's ladder, and he would start up this staircase, and he would pass these little hooded gnomes and elves and things, and they had very dark robes at the lower levels, and then they'd be light colored at the higher levels, and there'd be like 8 levels, I think, and he'd go into the Akashic records and get a reading and return. But he said that that first level was a place of nightmares. The things that were alive in that area were nightmarish. People were there, but they were greatly deformed. They'd have huge hands or giant feet, or just these body parts that were really bizarre looking. And he said as he would follow the light to this stairwell, and then he would ascend, and he'd pull out of those places. And I think this guy Michael Tamara, he talks about this thing as we go through these lives and we sort out what we really are, who we really are, and we die well. We die realizing that we live forever and we can't be harmed. And I just got to stay the course and follow the light. We're living in an illusion. This is a really good play, and we all got parts in it, but when we go home, you don't want to come back here. This thing we call death, we've got it completely backwards. It is a beautiful thing. It is a 10 million% upgrade instantly. We have not lost anybody. They've slipped out of the physical and they've gone home. And they're just a little further up the trail than we are right now. But we'll see them again, and everything is fine. Everything is beyond fine for them.
All right, we can stop it right there. That's probably the end anyway. So I just want to say thank you to the YouTube channel Shaman Oaks for, not that they let us share that, but I sort of think after hearing that story that they wouldn't be mad at us for sharing that. Beautiful story, right?
It is. And I, as everybody knows, I lost my mother earlier this year. And so, I think about that. I think about, where could she be? Is she okay? Is she where she can still see me or know what I'm doing? I don't know, but it also gives comfort because, I realize that I'm 50, halfway to Jimmy Carter's age. And you're only a couple years behind me. So
could be tomorrow, Tyson. We could be talking to those little guys with their hoods and the big,
it could be
happy Jesus guy going, "What's up?"
I mean, when you're 20 or 30, you're death is a million miles away and you're invincible. But
yeah,
boy, once you turn 50 and, all of a sudden you can see the car coming up the street with the black robe and the scythe hanging out. It's,
yeah, right. Dennis Scotch left a message. He said he died 8 times and he's never had any experience like that. Manu, do you care to share what you thought of Psychic Chris? He identified an experience for me once. Psychic Chris, I don't know who he's talking about. But Dennis said he's never experienced anything after he died 8 times. But I'm wondering how long he died. I'm wondering, how long his heart was actually stopped.
You had an NDE. Did you experience anything?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Very similar to what he experienced as far as I saw my multiversal lives laid out before me. I saw all these different choices and lives that I could be living or that I was living. I was a little confused about whether I was living them at the same time or whether they were choices I could make. But I did feel that cosmic orgasm that he talks about, that feeling of just, here's the storybook of all your multiversal existences, you are so much more than this body named Manu, and you are loved. And that was very much a part of my near-death experience. It was very obvious that if I completely let go of my body that night, that everything was going to be okay, and I was just going to go into one of my other lives or other existences, whatever happens. But I can't help but to watch that guy Bill Letzen from that Shaman Oaks show, just listening to him speak, and you could see that the experience was from like his 40s or something. He looks very young in the pictures, and now he's maybe 66. I don't know, 60. Who knows? But an older man, and you can still see the shine on his face when he tells that story. It was obviously deeply impactful, and I've done morphine. It doesn't do that. I mean, he had to die.
No.
That wasn't just a drug experience or a dream. That was something that stuck with him.
And he kept using the word COME after he would say the orgasm thing, and it was just cracking me up because I'm a
he
child.
would say, me too. We've come to experience. Stop it, man. You just
stop it.
Yeah,
you're killing
I'm
me.
with you. I'm glad that we're
You're
both
killing
sober.
me.
That's fantastic. We're on the right show. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I saw that earlier this week, and I was like, man, I want to share that. So I thought, why not share that and talk about near-death experiences, and talk about just the nature of reality and what we're doing here. I've come to a place where, a lot of things in that video that he talked about are things that we've talked about on this program. The lower natured demons and the lower natured, like when he talked about the steps of existence. I'm starting to think that all these things that these fringe scientists and people that come on the show and talk to us about, there's probably some truth to all of it.
What happens to non-human life? I mean, I believe that animals like cat, because people say cats, dogs, they go to heaven. Oh, fine. Well, do bacteria go to heaven? Do viruses go to heaven? Do ants? Do cockroaches go to heaven? Where does everything that is alive go to heaven, or is there a limit?
Well, that's why this whole social
trees are alive. Do they go to heaven?
That's why this, his story resonated with me so much as well. Is it's like, it seems like in some way, and we've talked about this on the program before too, but the idea of this being an experiment of some kind that we're unaware of, that other higher beings are in control of. Like if he's a human being and he dies and he goes on this journey, he wakes up in this room with these wonderful hooded figures and this dude that loves him, that's like, hey, what happened? How was it? Oh, he doesn't recognize us. That's funny. It must be evolutionary as well. It's like science and religion need to find a place to fit together, because bacteria probably have some kind of experience, and you probably do go up the chain. And whether dolphins are higher on the chain than us, than humans, who knows? But
so in a way back life, I was a paramecium or something.
Yeah, paramecium, a fish, a beetle, a maggot,
rolling my dung along the desert. That is
just
hot.
Pushing your turd, man. Just chopping wood and carrying water. I'm gonna roll this turd home.
I need more beer.
And it's wonderful to think. And I'd prefer to think that way, because we do have free will in this world. We can think nothing exists, and possibly we're even a type of God ourselves. If we choose to believe nothing exists, maybe we turn our soul off. Maybe we turn our experience off. Maybe we don't go. I don't know. I just found that story so fucking fascinating, and I found the man, Bill Letzen himself, just fun to listen to. He obviously believes, he's not making shit up.
And he really did go on a Star Trek.
He went on a Star Trek for sure. And I used to do that when I was a little kid too. You know, I did smoke my dad's pot when I was like 8. But having said that, I used to put like crystals on my body and I'd go in my room when I was like 7, 8 years old. And I remember leaving my body and floating up into the stars. I would have these like, my parents taught me to meditate and do that shit when I was really young. I haven't done it recently. But as a kid, I remember floating above the earth and seeing the stars and then being sucked back down into my body. That happened to me quite a bit as a child.
I remember when I was a teenager and laying in bed, and I could feel these crystals on. Never mind, they were testicles. Sorry,
They were
I'm thinking of
testicles. I
something
knew
else.
you were going to say
Sorry,
that.
sorry. Wrong image.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm glad that it still brings that same feeling to you, though, right? Cosmic orgasm.
Oh, just right up the chin. Yeah.
I fucking love Tyson Strauss.
Canceled.
No,
Never to return.
and that's the worst thing about America, right? That we can't talk about sexuality you know, without pissing people off.
And only in a semi-joking way. You're right. You know, and the thing is that we are beings of good and evil, of sexuality, of just, you know, we are so complex. Our psyche is so complex, and you know, exploring both the good and the bad. You know, we shouldn't be afraid to talk about the bad things that I have done and to own it, admit it, say I want to be better, and not do that again without worrying about if I'm going to be canceled. I would rather bring somebody along with me, somebody who's been in that dark place, and say, you know, let's talk about this, let's help each other, and let's be better people for it, rather than shaming somebody for something 20 years ago. I don't know.
It's actually it's actually one of the things, having dealt with some of the cancel culture stuff myself for some stupid shit I said online. It sort of awoke my consciousness in the fact that, like, for 20 years I was trying to live up to this character that I played on a TV show, and his loyalty and his beauty and his perfection. And he was a kid. He was like 16, but he was loyal and he was wonderful and he did all the right things. And I'm a human being that was 21 and didn't do all the right things and was just learning what it meant to be a man, and et cetera, et cetera. And so after that, I just decided to go, you know, of course, things that people say, and even like gigantic movie stars that get hate mail all the time and death threats, they're going to, you know, a lot of them would say that stuff doesn't affect them, that they just let it go. But of course it affects you a little bit. But yeah. I did learn from that experience that at some point, you know, haters going to hate. And lover's going to love. And you need to not listen to the haters, because it's not worthwhile for your own sanity, for your own belief in your character and yourself. So,
and there's enough fans out there that both love the character and love the actor, and they far outnumber the haters, sure, and the people that don't. And you know, that I think would sustain you. You know, just having that.
It does
that love from the fans.
And even if they were all haters, I think at this point in my life, it you know, pushing 50, that I would just be like, okay, everybody hates me, I don't care, I'm still going to be me. Let's have some people join us. If there's anybody out there that wants to join the conversation, we only have like 10 minutes left in the show. I'd love to bring you guys on if you want to talk and join the conversation. Hit the Discord link. I forgot to tell people. You can, well, it's scrolling across the bottom now, but you can click the Discord link. You can also write Subscript Pirate at X, or not at X, on X, at Subscript Pirate. Check out our website, dangerousthoughts.show. Check out Katie's Corner, our weekly blog. She's a wonderful writer. She writes about amazing things. And make sure to click the like and subscribe button. But to go from what we were just talking about, let's talk about like full-on psychopaths, serial killers, and
we
like
opened
really,
this show with talking about Trump. What? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I bet that guy's killed somebody, or at least had somebody killed.
This is a psychopath.
Every U.S. president is a serial
Has
killer.
had somebody killed. You're right. Every U.S. president has bombed somebody. So, wow, what a weird country to live in, and
Oh, I know what I want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
This week, Jimmy Carter turned 100 years old. I mean,
like Jimmy.
rock
I
on.
like Jimmy. Yeah, rock
This
on.
dude,
No shit.
this dude was building houses, Habitat for Humanity, teaching Sunday school every Sunday. There's a story where he fell and he got this black eye at home, and the very next Monday he was out there sawing wood in his 90s. In his 90s, sawing wood.
My grandpa.
I mean, what a
used to do
badass!
it in the
Like
90s too.
there are Republicans and Democrats out there that say he was good or bad president, whatever he thought of his presidency. He was only president for 4 years. But Habitat for Humanity, teaching Sunday school, being a decent human being, he has done for, we can finally say, over 100 years.
Did he run against Reagan? Who replaced him?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he ran against
Reagan.
So his first term, he ran in 76, and he beat Gerald Ford, because Gerald Ford also ran to be president as a Republican. Jimmy Carter's the Democrat, and Jimmy won. And then in 1980, he ran against Ronald Reagan. There's a lot of reasons the Iran hostage situation that happened. There was a lot. There was regime change in Iran in '78, and so a lot of things happened, and ended up we got Ronald Reagan for
how
8
funny
years,
is that too? How Americans will blame shit going on in the world, and how our president deals with it. I mean, like, seriously, like, I love at least that.
But he turned 100, and it's just
heartwarming
heartwarming because he was a good. He is a good guy.
Carter. Yeah, it's definitely hard to hate Jimmy Carter. I don't have any hate for that man. Well, maybe 1%.
We also have time where we're waiting for people to join for the two truths and a lie, and I have one set up.
Is this the game? We're playing a game?
Yeah.
All right.
Two truths and a lie. I'm going to tell you 3 things. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake. You tell me which is fake. My brother lived in Idaho before he moved to Washington State. He was married in Idaho. My sister, my brother-in-law, their kids, and I went up there for his marriage, where I was his best man. That's number 1. Number 2, as I said, he did move to Washington. Again, my brother-in-law, my sister, the kids, we flew up there. We visited him for a while in Washington. I even got to go up the Space Needle. And number 3, I was married.
You have a tell.
I have my work anniversary, my marriage anniversary, and my birthday all on the same date.
Your what anniversary? Say that again.
My wedding anniversary, my work anniversary, and my birthday are all the same date.
So the day you got hired, the day you got married, and the day you got married. The day you got married, the day you got hired, and the day you were born.
And the day I was born. Yeah. So 2 of those things are real. 1 of those things is a lie.
I don't think you've ever been up in the Space Needle. Oh, he's got the coin.
I got the coin. Yes, I do have the coin. I don't know where it is, but yes, I do have the Space Needle coin. I did go up into the Space Needle.
Go.
I did go.
All right, somebody else gets. I thought I had it.
Yeah, I'm just admiring how hard he's digging for that coin.
Yeah,
it's in my pocket. It's in my pocket. But I did go on the Space Needle.
I've had it ever since I went up there.
That leaves
pants pocket.
That leaves 2 things. 1 of them is true, and the other is a lie. We know
I
that.
think number 3 is true, because I think that you are just gay enough to coordinate some shit like that.
All right, I'm going to end this game by saying Cassie knows me well. Yes, I was born on December 19th. I got my job at Kaiser Permanente on December 19th, 2005, And I married Michael Strasberg on December 19th, 2014. So, yes, I was born on December 19th, married my husband on December 19th, and I was hired at my job on December 19th.
I've completely forgot. So what was the lie? Your brother moved to Idaho, or
no? My brother-in-law, my sister, and the kids did go up to my brother's wedding in Idaho. I had to work. I had to stay here. I was not my brother's best man at his wedding. That was a lie.
You slipped in the little lie. Very,
that was
very
a lie.
Clever of you. I wish I would have practiced the game. Mine's gonna suck. Let's have somebody else go first. All right, so we've got Mala here, we've got Katie, we've got Chris Leftwich on the program. What's that?
What's up?
I was waiting for that. What's up?
All right, so let's bring on whoever came in first, and we'll go from there. And we got to play the game too.
That was Katie that came in first.
All right, Katie. Good morning.
You're doing good today. I'm no good at lying. Right, 2 truths and a lie. My birthday is First Contact Day.
Can you put her in the middle when she's on, or on? You know
what? I'll trade places with her.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Right. So 2 truths and a lie. Right. My birthday is First Contact Day. My birthday
What's that?
is Star Trek First Contact.
I'm just kidding.
You know, I know Star Trek is new concept to Manu. Let him soak that in for a minute.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. My birthday is also the anniversary of my parents' wedding. And
she's trying to come up with a lie right now.
I know. I answer in a British accent. Right, yeah. Mike?
Oh, I never lie. I've never lied in my life.
All right.
And
all right, Lord.
I have... Oh, crap. What number is it?
12 elves in my vagina.
Actually, there's 13. But no...
No, somebody's been shopping on Goop. All right.
She's going to Adam and Eve.
But no, so that's
no, I think that was Goop.
Somebody's been watching Pornhub.
This candle smells like my sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
yes,
I'm sorry.
Let Katie play the game. We're all cutting her off.
I'm not making that up. I'm sorry.
Okay, so hold on. Let's get the first 2. I have already forgotten them.
Right. So the 3 is my birthday is First Contact Day. My birthday is also my parents' wedding anniversary, and I have over 700 books in my new library.
700
I know the answer. New library.
Well, wait a second. Is that the end?
I know the answer.
One of those 3 things is false?
Yeah. I know which one it is. I know which one it is. Do I want to let Manu guess?
Go first.
Because I know Katie well enough to know.
You hit the buzzer.
Oh, okay. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, you hit the buzzer.
Yeah, the first one is absolutely true. She's talked about her birthday being First Contact Day. That's true. I'm sure she has over 700 books in her library. That has to be true, which means the middle one, your birthday and your parents' anniversary, has to be the lie.
Right. What do you think, Manu?
I'll go with the other one, which is that by sneaking in new library, you made that a false. Because you have 700 books in your library, but not in your new one. Like,
he thinks it's wordplay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cassie?
God, I have to say number 2 is false.
That's the anniversaries.
I'm with Cassie and Tyson on this one. B, your parents' anniversary.
Manu's right.
Really?
Yeah, wordplay.
No. Basically, we had to change rooms round because the smaller room was the library. Now we've moved it into the bigger room, but I only have
she's got a bunch of shelves in that motherfucker.
No, I have about 500 or 600 books, but not over 700.
We failed.
Oh, and there I go again. My camera.
Hold on tight. Oh, grab something.
We got that, Katie. That was wonderful. She's been doing that a lot on Dave's show, on Technically Trek.
Oh
Going,
yeah, Technically Trek.
Yeah, and I
by the
don't know
way,
why.
I haven't been reading your
Ridiculous.
script tonight because
We'll
we didn't
save
have
it
Micah
for
on.
when it comes
I'll
up.
save it for Micah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Technically Trek, you guys should watch it. When is it, gentlemen?
Wednesdays.
it is
Gentlemen,
Wednesdays at
men and
6
women?
p.m. Wednesdays at 6
at
p.m.
6 p.m. on
Pacific.
YouTube.
No, 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Pacific.
5
I
p.m.
apologize. 5 p.m. Pacific. And it stars Dave Hildebrand and Katie. Katie is the co-host of that show, so really exciting.
I'm on
I love
hiatus
it.
at the minute, but I will be back in a couple of weeks.
Our good friend Dave Prime, who is quite a character. You should go check out his Star Trek show, Technically Trek.
It's really good. Love it.
I just burped in my mouth, which is what usually happens. But I kept
Very
it in
sexy.
my mouth. And it, I don't usually just let it
Where
out.
else are you going to burp?
Well, yeah, but you don't usually keep your lips closed and keep it in there for a while,
All right, moving on to Mala. I don't know what Manu is doing. Okay. Mala, welcome. Oh my goodness.
Mala, hey, what's happening?
Wow.
You ever had a near-death experience, Mala?
Or burp in your mouth, because apparently we're talking about that now.
What's that?
That's close to the same thing. There's a lot of love there.
Shit.
Those aren't kisses.
No.
Ew.
Hey, baby.
Stop that. No,
You
so
nasty.
I've not had a near-death experience, thankfully.
No.
I don't plan on having any.
Wouldn't you like one like that guy had, though? I mean, that was pretty.
Well,
Bill Letson.
I'd rather take the avenue that you can possibly get there through meditation and visualization.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that have experienced unconditional love. So, I mean, I'm not searching for it the way other people are. And I do think it's very important that everyone feels at least once in their life what it's like to feel loved unconditionally. It is such a rare and amazing.
Mala, though, I'm going to tell you one thing you don't have enough of. And it breaks my heart to say this.
Yeah,
you don't have enough pop action figures.
No, not
you
enough.
just don't have enough
figures.
You don't have enough.
Just what's displayed.
It's sad. It's actually sad.
And boxes.
Yeah, but that's just not enough. I mean,
that's not enough.
Most people have way more.
I might
way
have
more.
A small habit.
My God, you could open a museum. I mean, it's wonderful.
She's gonna have a near-death experience standing in line for one of the new pop.
No, her husband's gonna have a near-death experience when he sees the bill for those. That's
that's true.
He's my partner in crime, so I got that covered. See, the problem with me is.
So she just admitted she stole them all.
No, I bought them. They're all like I like to be able to have that accomplishment. Yeah, I earned it. But
did you come up with the game?
Yeah. The Two Truths and a Lie. It's in the script.
I didn't.
It's in the script.
Well, I didn't read the script, so.
I read the script this time. You read the script last week.
I was reading it when I found out that we didn't have Micah, and I was putting it on the teleprompter. It was going to be a wonderful show. It turned into this.
Hey, still a good show.
No, I thought it was a great show.
So two truths and a lie, Mala. You're up. Give us two truths and a lie.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So number one, I had red hair as a child. The second one you have to choose from is I'm a published poet. And the third one is I have met and interacted with Sean Connery.
All right.
Ooh, I'm going to say the first one's a lie. I'm going to say number one was a lie. But the first one's a lie. Yeah. I don't think you have red hair.
I don't know where Katie went. What Chris?
Katie? What's your guess?
I already know the answer.
She probably does.
Yeah.
Did we get it wrong?
Number one is
my guess.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's what we said. Number one was a lie. Yeah, I think the red hair is bullshit.
Because I definitely know
that was my guess.
Leftwich also called you.
I had brown hair.
You are a bad liar.
I am.
Yay!
That's why I don't do it.
Yeah. Good game though. I like the game. I like
We
the
got
game.
one.
So I'll see
All right,
if
well,
it came into the script.
Yeah, the
No,
games
hey,
are great.
yeah.
I really
I
enjoy
like
them.
that.
In fact, when Zach was on last week, it touched me deeply. That game was great. This game is great too. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the program, or any thoughts you had, or are we going to move on to Chris? I give you all the time in the world because you wrote in the script, and I was, just to prove that I was reading some of it. Teamwork makes the dream work, and the fact that you guys plug in and help this show every week, and Mala has been writing scripts now, and
setting up the stream. She's been doing that too.
She's been doing a lot of work, and nobody in the show is getting paid. So it's just a beautiful thing that people are plugging in and helping the show stay running every Sunday. So thank you, Mala.
Project.
Yeah, and someday hopefully we'll all be getting paid. So if there's anyone else out there that wants to help our team make the show better, we'd love to have you.
See, that was in the script. Very good. Love it.
Right?
Bring it in.
All right, let's go to Chris, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the show. Chris, what you doing? What up?
What's up? What's up? Man, I wish I could help. I'm just, I'm living in a travel trailer.
I'm living in a van
down by the river.
I'd help you, but I'm in a van
down by the river. Yeah, I'm still
you live
trying
in
to
Tennessee. We get it. We're good.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Have your machine gun. You're all right.
Oh yeah. I got a bunch of those, but yeah, we're still trying to get. Dude, I extracted all of the Star Trek Voyager DVDs and shit the other day from the house. I got my microscope out. I got we're just going in there every day and trying to get out, what we can salvage and things. We've got this normal size chess table. It's about, you can sit down at it, but it's like a chess table and it's all dragons and shit. It's this really gothic thing, and we're gonna have to get it out through a window because the ceiling is falling in and shit like that. So doing that. Sentimental things.
You can't just go in there and fucking
no.
Just hold that ceiling up like the bad motherfucker you are.
Dude, the 2x4s don't even go all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, they're on the ground.
They burned that bad. So yeah, it's going in there is kind of like, well, I hope this thing doesn't fall in and kill me.
So for those of you out there with empathy who are listening, Chris Leftwich had a fucking terrible tragedy happen this year. His fucking house burned down.
Yeah.
So
sucked.
Yeah, it must suck. And I've had a couple friends that have had that happen to him. Well, wow. I mean, you must have lost so much personal stuff that was important to you, and I feel for you, man.
Yeah, I lost some sentimental things, but I lost in today's economy probably $60,000 to $75,000 worth of vintage video game stuff.
Oh,
I had Genesis, Ataris, I had Neo Geos, I had TurboGrafx, I had every color Fantastic N64. Did you kill the fly?
I think I got it that time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I had so much shit, dude. I mean, so much shit, and total loss.
So,
and the
can
thing
you share your story a little bit with do you know how it happened? Do you know what happened?
Yeah. It was an electrical fire. It started up in the roof. It started up in the roof of the house.
Some wiring that was fuzzy just sparked and started a fire.
Yeah. Well, we had just had a brand new roof put on like 3 months prior. And the fire happened on May 25th. We had the roof put on in December. And what the fire investigation showed is that when they were putting the roof on, one of the nails went right through 2 of the wires, and it just got hot and burned. And
number 3, one of the nails going through the wire. That's the lie. Oh, we're not playing the game yet.
Not yet. No, but anyway, that's how it started and all that. And the thing is, dude, I was asleep. I was asleep and I just smelled smoke and
Oh
you know,
no.
yeah.
You were in the
and-
house at the time. Holy
Oh
shit.
yeah, I was in the house and it had been burning for like 30 minutes and I started smelling smoke. I mean, thank God I wasn't passed out drunk because we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I
So he
woke up,
wakes up and
blah,
he
blah, blah.
thinks, did I not put my cigarette
Did I
out?
not
What
put
the
my
hell?
cigarette out? What the fuck is happening here?
Dude, I had been asleep for like at least 4 hours. So
Wow.
yeah, and yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's that story. Anyway, what are we
No,
talking
Two
about?
truths
were
and a
right
lie.
on
Two
it.
truths. Two
Well,
truths
you
and a
can do
lie.
truth. I was fascinated by the fire story because I'm always terrified of things like that. And I think people
Oh
are
yeah.
very did you this is what I want to ask you. I know you don't like talking about it because it's fucking heavy, but my last question is did you have fire extinguishers in your house?
Yeah,
was
we
it
had
just too
two.
late to get to them, basically?
Yeah,
Too late
yeah,
to get to it.
yeah. I got to it. I saw the fire was burning. It was burning in the other room, and I got to my fire extinguisher. I went in there, and the wall had
Laugh.
already tipped
Oh,
over,
shit.
so I couldn't open the door. And
Yeah.
the smoke was starting to get so bad.
A
That was
fire
it, man.
extinguisher is not going to do it. Yeah. at
No,
that point.
no, not at that point.
No.
But yeah, dude, I put on my house shoes, I grabbed my wallet, my phone, and my gun, my cig. And that yeah, seriously.
Gotta save the gun.
Seriously.
Gotta
And-
save
and
the
that-
gun.
Get the cat,
and
forget
that
the
was it.
dog. You got to make sure you get the gun.
Get the
That
dog
was-
and
that
the
was- yeah.
ammo out of the
Yep.
house.
Sorry, Fido. I got the gun comes first.
Yeah.
No, well,
Sorry, Miss
well,
Prissy.
well, no, all the cats were, outside. They were in a different building, and we'd put them up for the night. And yeah, that's what I grabbed. And I mean, it was a total loss. It gutted. If you go into the Discord in the family time, you can scroll back or you can go to my Facebook and scroll back, blah blah blah. There's the pictures on there. But yeah, anyway, it was yeah, it pretty much just gutted it. But I mean, we're getting some sentimental stuff out.
Yeah, we've all talked behind your back about this, and we've all made fun of you. And no,
I'm
we
sure
have
you-
not.
I'm
no,
sure. Oh, I'm
no.
sure you have.
We
The truth
do.
is, we've all talked behind your back about how much we love you, and we're happy you're still here.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
that is the
and,
truth.
But
and,
you still make fun of me.
Well, sure.
No.
You're
Well, I
fucking
don't.
nut.
Manu's an asshole. I don't make fun of you. I want to.
Yeah. Just
Hey,
me.
that's what the haters on social media are saying, that Manu was a total dick.
It's true. I'm a prick.
Yeah.
On social media, my tether has almost snapped with them. I've had so many people freaking blocking me recently because I've lost my shit with them. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just let it go.
No, but
You can't.
I
love that people
stood
defend
up.
me.
I stood up for you, though. I said you do give the best testicle massages of any actor I know. I was there for you.
Yeah,
I was there for
yeah,
you.
because
It's how I got the part in the first place.
I commented on something on Facebook, and then Katie commented on the same post, and yeah, I don't know if I've gotten blocked yet. I mean, don't know, don't care, but whatever.
Well,
Oh no, you haven't seen what I've been putting on other social media, love.
Look,
and my basic question was, all these people, they're hating on Manu, they're saying he's really hard to work with, and all that, and I was like, well, how many of the haters actually know the guy?
Yeah, how many of them work with you, right? People are putting this shit out.
Yeah. I'm not talking a 45-second meet and greet. I mean, hell, Manu, we've sat around, all of us, we've sat around and talked for hours and hours and hours on end.
And
right.
It's true. I'm a prick, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're a total asshole.
Hard to work with.
The social media
Same
is
here.
a cesspool for haters, and people can say what the hell they like about me. I really don't give a crap.
Yeah.
People can. I don't give a shit what people think about me, but when they start coming after people I care about, that's when I lose my shit.
Yeah,
Especially if
either
you don't
or.
know.
It's tough to shut the emotion off. It really is. I mean, I read through, and Tyson was saying earlier, it is true. 95% of the fan base. I was reading something on some talk show I did after, and it was really positive, and there's all these beautiful messages about me, about the character, etc. And and then every 10 or 20,
Well, Icheb
there's
was
just some
beloved.
hateful shit
I've
about whether
known
me
Manu
or
for,
the character, and
well, I've
it
known
is
Manu
tough to
for
shut
4
the emotion
years,
off. But I'm
but
getting
I've
better
known
at it.
Icheb. I've known Icheb for
You've
20
known
years.
Icheb for 20 years, so it's easy
Yeah,
to dog shit
and
Manu,
it's
right?
but you put so much into the. I mean, anybody could have been Icheb, right? But you put so much Manu into Icheb, and people fell in love with Icheb, and that's why it's easy for people to fall in love with you as an actor, as a professional, as somebody who can bring this love out of a character and people fall in love with this character. That's why actors, I mean, some of our favorite movies, and we want to get their autographs, and we love them so much because they brought something that we love to the screen. And you did that for us, for a lot of us.
Dennis Koch says, let me tell you something. A major collection of people will follow you because you do not give a shit about what others think. I mean, within reason, of course, which is absolutely the truth.
Dude, Manu, Manu, I was going to say, I was on Roku just scrolling through the thing, and Hell on the Border was on.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the movies I produced, everybody. Go check out Hell on the Border, the true story of Bass Reeves. Good movie. Roku probably free now. I play the hanging judge, Isaac Parker, in that film, who actually was like this really progressive guy for his time. He gave the first African-American U.S. Marshal his badge. And like, he was probably an asshole, but for his time.
And I can't wait for Star Crew to come out in the year 2030.
We were working on the theme song today. You should have heard it. Really, I was sharing the theme song with Cassie and Mike.
Really?
From Click Tight. Oh, good God!
Epic.
It's
done.
Okay, you're gonna have to secretly send that to me because I want to hear that.
Hey, look at that! That's a picture of me on
King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah, look at that with old Jerry Stiller. I'll tell you a true story about behind the scenes of that. When I was working with Jerry Stiller, I was auditioning for a Todd Phillips movie. Was it Todd Phillips who made that movie? I think so. No, maybe not. Yeah, I think so. Called Road Trip. And
that's a funny movie.
I remember that.
The producer was the guy that produced Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Oh man. But anyway, I got really, really close to getting the part in that film. The curly-haired guy that has the conversation with the old man and his boner outside. That's the only part.
You would have been perfect.
I would have been perfect.
You'd have been
right?
perfect. Yeah.
The stoner that has the conversation with the old guy with the boner. Anyway, that was the part.
Very
much. Speaking to the microphone.
If they knew.
But I went in the third time, and this is a good behind-the-scenes story. So I went into audition for that the third time, and I had all this like. I had been buying pot from my neighbor who was a total hippie.
Sure.
And he had the whole Grateful Dead outfit. So I took all his clothes and I wore them and I walked in there just like a total Grateful Dead stoner. And I think like the minute I walked in the room, they were like, fuck no. Just because they didn't want to hire like a real stoner. And if you go back and look at the role, it's a very straight kid. They hired a very straight kid that just happened to smoke pot.
You do look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, with the whole...
Yeah, I was in there doing that. That's what I did for the whole audition. I just went... But it's fun. It's funny.
Almost had a spit take.
It's funny as while I did the audition, like in the middle of the audition, the guy that made Ghostbusters, Ivan Reitman is sitting off to the left, and he picks up his phone. His phone rings in the middle of my read. Oh, look at the kitties! It's kind of like this. I'm telling a story. People don't give a fuck. Right?
Oh, they're bugs.
They're very cute. Look at those cuties. Yeah, but he picks up his phone.
Boing.
He starts talking on his phone while I'm trying to show him my performance. Blah blah blah. Yeah, blah 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 blah. He's not even watching. I'm like, oh man, it was the worst audition ever. Like these days, at 46 years old, yeah, you just did that with the cats. That's what I said. But
sorry.
No, it's fine. It happens to me all the time. the thing of today, I would have been right at him. I would have been like, seriously, you're taking a fucking phone call? Like, but back then I was like 22 years old. I had no balls. And I just finished my audition while he talked on the phone and walked out. It was so sad. Boo-hoo, right?
Well, if you would have fondled his balls the way you're good with, he might have given it to you. You should have. Yeah, you should have. I could have had a V8. I could have had a V8.
So dumb.
All right, giggity, climbing up the ladder.
All right, Leftwich.
I can't take any more drinks.
2 truths and a lie, and we're out.
What? Oh, God. What, really?
2 truths and a lie. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
You got to do it. We all did it.
Okay,
Go
well.
to Dangerous Thought Show and buy them.
Oh, God. I can't. I don't know, because I've done everything.
He has no chance.
He's like, I can give you 3 truths or 3 lies, but that's
3 truths or 3 lies, but not.
Okay.
No,
I can't mix. I can't mix.
Yeah. Well, no, because everything I'm going to say is the truth. I probably, unless I come up with something, which I will. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. 2 truths and a lie. Damn.
Well, he's thinking about it. Hold on.
I'm thinking.
While he's thinking about it, I have a quick
Take your time,
quick
Chris.
story.
Come
Quick
up
story.
with it.
What's the difference between a fairy tale and a sea story?
I have no clue.
You're supposed to be coming up with your 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
So you can ask a Coast Guard or a Navy sailor or a Marine, anybody who's been out on the water. What's the difference between a fairy tale and a sea story?
I don't know. The Hot Mermaid. I mean, just
a fairy tale always starts. Okay, a fairy tale always starts once upon a time. A sea story always starts, and this is no shit.
If you were,
sounds about right.
That is actually really true.
Okay. And this is no shit. This fucking happened. Yeah. Fairy tales never start that way.
I don't know.
But that's how they start.
Okay. 2 truths and a lie. Well, I mean, you guys, you all know me and shit like that. And wow, I don't know.
Could you picture the harp starting the fairy tale?
Okay, you know what?
No shit.
Okay. Here we go.
This is never
2 truths and a lie.
It's never gonna happen.
2 truths and a lie.
Show's gonna go on another 10 minutes.
Number 1. Okay, number 1. I used to sell weed.
No way.
Number 2. I ended up smoking crack in a hotel room with a prostitute.
Oh, no way.
Number 3. I shot heroin.
No. Number 3.
God, is number 2 or number 3? Because I know number 1 you goddamn well
Number
did.
2.
Number 2.
No, it's number. It's 3.
Oh yeah, it's 3. I'm gonna say it's 3.
Leftwich definitely blew a rock with a prostitute, with a sex worker. Sorry, we're woke.
Yeah.
Okay. He blew a rock.
Yeah,
with a
I'm
sex
gonna say
worker.
it's 3.
It happened.
It's 3.
But
It's
I don't
3.
see Leftwich strapping off. I just don't see it.
No. Okay, we all say 3 is the lie. Are we right? The cat even thinks 3 is the lie.
You are correct.
Get out of here, cat.
You are correct. Number 3 is the lie.
All right.
And I actually didn't smoke crack with her. We just did shotguns. So
you did a little.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Shotguns when you blow, you hit the crack pipe.
She smoked the crack and he blew in her breath.
Real close and you go.
Yeah.
And then
no. We locked lips, and then she would blow it into my mouth, and then of course we fucked. And so,
I just boop, you're back down.
Well, hey, sex worker crack usually involves the next step. But anyway.
Well, yeah, dude. She was just walking down the road and needed a ride. So,
Meow, meow.
Meow meow.
Trying to get canceled since 2022.
Trying
to get
dangerous
canceled
thoughts.
since 2022.
Trying to get canceled. We might have made it tonight. Thank you, Chris Lethwich.
No problem.
Yeah, no, I loved it. That was a real. See, these games are great. You got to come up with more, Mala.
Love it.
I've got one.
Oh, Cassie, we gotta do
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
here we go. Go.
Oh, it's
Mine is big.
It's scary, isn't it? This is the
Scary.
first time we've seen our producer that large and in charge.
I took over Tyson one time.
Okay.
He did.
I think I boosted him once, twice.
All right.
What's the game, Cassie?
It was a bad idea.
It's still two truths.
It's still two truths and a lie, Chris.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what we're doing. Smallest game.
No. I was going to mess with you. I was going to mess with you and put you full screen, but I don't want to do that.
All right. I tour prepped Taylor Swift's 1989 tour. I toured with U2 in 2012, or I was at Cream's last show in 2005.
Number one.
Yeah, I think it's the Taylor one, only because
number one is definitely true.
It's Cream.
I think it's
you wish it was.
Cream, get the money.
I'm gonna have to say Cream.
Climbing up the ladder.
I like saying
I'm
Cream.
sticking with the Taylor
Anything
because
moist,
I would've told
moist.
that guy about it.
If Tyson's going with
Okay.
Cream just because he
number
loves
two.
it.
Yeah, I'm going with Cream. I'm
That's a
Cream.
lie.
Katie and
Just 'cause I
Mala
wanna say
are correct.
Number two?
I did not tour with U2 in 2012. That was my last year in the
U2.
military.
Oh, man,
I
I
thought-
should have known that. I've heard
I
all
thought-
your, not all your touring stories, but I've heard a lot of them, and you never brought up U2.
And
You did tour with U2 though, didn't you?
He has
I've
told
done a
me
few
about
shows
it.
with U2.
Okay, because I thought, because you told
I
me
never
about that
toured
like
with them.
Well,
A
you
year
wait,
ago
wait,
or
wait, wait,
something.
wait,
Oh,
wait. Well, I think we're
damn it.
burying the lead here. You toured with Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I tour prepped her 1989 tour.
Tour prep.
Awesome.
89. Was she born in 89?
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
that was
playing
the year she
country
was
back
born.
then. That was when she was,
89? 89 or
The tour name
99?
Is 1989.
89.
That's the name of the tour.
Oh, I was
the
gonna say
fucking
how-
album,
He
Tyson.
was
You're supposed
born
to
in
be
fucking
gayer than
89.
this. You are supposed to be gayer than this. You are supposed to be listening to this stuff.
I have an opportunity to share something I don't get to share often, but
All right.
my
all right.
husband is a huge Swiftie. He is a 50-year-old Swiftie, and I respect that.
A 50-year-old Swiftie.
Yes,
The
he is.
closest I am is
Apparently
I have a
Tyson is
Swiffer
not.
sweeper. I have a Swiffer
Swiffer.
I
sweeper.
can't
That's it.
stand Taylor
That's it.
Swift. I don't.
All right.
I've
I
got
love
a
you
couple of
guys, but fuck this. We've gone off the rails. We'll see you next week
Yeah.
on Dangerous Thoughts.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Take it to them. Ruining motivation to survive. Robbing side is like a jungle holding rest of a nation. You couldn't hold me like a tongue, you need collapsing away. Hey, gorilla hearted, I be in my chest to stay alive. Take it to them. Ruining motivation to survive. Robbing side is like a jungle holding rest of a nation. You couldn't hold me like a tongue, you need collapsing away. Gorilla hearted, I be in my chest to stay alive. Hey.